the mediocre American smack-off. It will be great soon. All right, coming out of the gates, I'm Jim Rome. Welcome back. I want to remind you we have a new affiliate in the jungle on Monday. Rochester, New York comes in. They missed the smack-off, but they will get everything else. Yahoos, do me a favor. We're trying to get everybody who belongs in set up, but you yahoos who don't belong in keep jamming the phone line trying to sell yourself. Don't do it. Sit back, clones. Tip a cold one. Do whatever it is you do on Good Friday or Epic Friday or the Great American Smack-Off, but stop calling. You're wasting everybody's time, all right? You know what this is all about. Let the legends through. Let's see what they've got. Next stop. This guy is a jungle legend, has been since the day he stepped in. He is the mayor of Poway. David, good afternoon.
I eat pressure for breakfast. This is a slam dunk deal. And it's out of character, it's out of character for me to say this, but Ditola, NoCal, Bigfoot, you lose. Now, a couple people said to me, you know what? You got a good chance of winning this thing. I told them, do you know what? You're damn right I do. I ought to. I've called 123 times and done some serious smacking. I went on Romy's show the day after he interviewed Barry Bonds and accused him of butchering the interview. I told him, Romy, you are no user than olive oil's ankles, and you're a lock for stiff of the day. And another one I remembered. How about the schmack when I predicted that Pernell Whitaker would win his fight with the invincible 85 wins, no losses, Julio Cesar Chavez? I came in months before that fight went down. I called 2 or 3 times about it. I said ultimate speed would get out of the way of ultimate power. Couldn't beg a response. No one likes Sweet Pea. That's an example of monster smack. Romy, also. I continue to risk my credibility by coming in and talking about sports other than the Big Four. But sometimes the Big Four needs to get the hell out of the way. There's a lot of great sports in this world. And most of all, it gives me great pleasure and take this little morsel to the bank. There is only one person on this radio show that's more intense about sports than me. And be sure, this day does belong to all of the good callers, not just one. But this inaugural title, without a doubt, belongs to the pioneer of brash himself, the ex-traffic reporter from Santa Barbara, Jim Rome. You are king of smack. Next year, one of us clones can win it. Cha-ching!
Game over. I am the man. Brilliant. I have never seen such ferocity and intenseness in the mayor's voice. He didn't even pump himself for saying, it'll blow your head off. Talladega, baby. Outstanding blast, Mayor. I like it a lot. All right. Good points for that. Nice energy, nice intensity, nice content. On to La Costa. This guy got off a couple of preliminary scuds earlier this week. He was big on Monday. He was big on Wednesday. Can he hang on Friday? Lance, you're next up. Let it rip.
Well, thanks, Romy. You know, everybody's been asking me all week long who or what Lance from La Costa was going to rip apart in the Great American Smack-Off. Well, Jimmy, was there ever any doubt? Let's talk a little Chargers-Raiders football because I'm going to settle this superiority issue once and for all. Let me lay out some facts about last season concerning both these teams, a little comparing and contrasting, if you will. One of the things that stands out most about the Ducks season is the humiliating losses all year long. Right from the get-go, the 49ers and the Raiders, what was supposed to be a Super Bowl preview, Jerry Plummer smacked Al Davis and the Raiders. How did the Raiders respond? By letting Jerry Rice run all over them, setting a record for touchdown catches. Who can forget the Raiders' tank job at home in front of a mere 38,000 against the Seattle Seahawks? By the way, Jim, the Chargers beat the Seahawks twice last season. Who can forget Jeff Hostetler being pummeled by the Pittsburgh Steelers? Oh, by the way, Jim, the Chargers beat the Steelers twice last season. Or how about the Raiders-Chiefs game with it all on the line where you're supposed to lay out your guts, put it all on the line for the playoff spot? The Raiders tanked. By the way, Jim, the Chargers beat the Chiefs twice. Their biggest win of the year last year, against the Chargers. Now, let me say something about the Chargers season. Electrifying from the opening get-go against the Denver Broncos. The season was filled with spectacular, exciting games. Last-second wins were a regular occurrence on Sunday. From the opening get-go against the Broncos when we broke their back for the season to the end of the year when we finished up in the playoffs.
All right, Lance, let me jump in. Hate to do it. I got the point on that. Chargers smack on the Raiders. All right, got you in there. That was important. Now, the reason I want to jump in there is, well, because I decided he was done. And it's only fair to get balance. Let's go to the other side. Drop this call in. Wichita Falls, Texas. Once we hear a Charger blast, we got to hear a Raider blast. Raider Mike, great to have you in the smack off.
Hey, thanks, buddy. You know, since I heard that no-cal here, kind of reminds me why I rooted for the Bolts in the Super Bowl. You know, Jim, I just want to thank you for inviting me, and, you know, I don't think I'm a great caller or anything. It's just good to be one of the dudes. And before I get to my blast, you know, I got to say a little something about baseball. I was firing through the multicolored fish wrap today, and I saw an epic sight, something I ain't seen in so long. I was shocked when I see it, a major league box score. You know, I don't care what happened. It's great to have that sport back. And, you know, the clubs that have always been concerned the most about winning and making money second are the ones that are helping themselves right now. Atlanta, the Blue Jays, and the Yankees. And I know about one excited brick in La Jolla right now. You know, Wetland and Howe, they give that team the bullpen they ain't had since Ron Davis and the Goose. And I'll tell you, if they get Randy Johnson, man, it is over in that division. Now, I usually don't like to waste my calls, Jim, blasting other callers, but I see the smack off as the radio version of the showdown in the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I want to talk about the guy that just called ahead of me, Lance from La Costa. You know, Jim, I take a lot of heat from my fellow Raider fans because I happen to think Lance is a great caller. You know, he shakes the trees when he comes into the jungle, and he keeps us Raider fans on our toes. But I've heard from my spies that he's accused certain callers of stealing his game. What the hell is that? If my partner in crime wanted to steal Lance's game, after the Raiders tanked in the playoffs last year, he'd have disappeared from the jungle faster than a Charger safety on a post pattern. To take your ball and go home after your team gets its butt kicked in is not jungle material, and I am very shocked because I wouldn't expect it from Lance. I'll see you when pitchers and catchers report, dude. You know, Jim, I can't understand this hostility towards us. It's like some of the callers and the great faxers in the jungle got beat up at a game or something. You know, for all the smack we've taken, for all the heat we felt, it is going to come back tenfold. And you all know conditions in the jungle when the silver and black is winning. Need I remind you? I've said it before, and I will say it again. We got a third-place schedule next year, baby. Our non-division road games are Cincinnati, the Jets, the Giants, and the Redskins. Not as good as playing Denver 16 times, but with the coaching moves we made, and I seriously, and you know, Jim, you know as well as I do, that was the reason we had problems last year. I figure we'll be 11-5, and that's won the division the last 3 years. You know, I don't care nothing about huge call a day. I want to send a message, and that message is, people, if we win that division next year, I got one word to sum up the atmosphere for you in the jungle. Doom.
Definitely true. That'd be our worst nightmare, the Ducks back on top. All right, Mike, good blast. Had to get the Chargers side, had to get the Raiders side in. 6 of the legends are in so far. We'll keep this thing moving. It's the Great American Smack Off. We're looking for more telephone calls. We're looking for our celebrity input. Are you scoring at home? Who has the lead so far? We'll come back and get more in. Great to be with you on a Friday. This is the Noble Sports Radio Network.